Good evening, everyone. Our today's topic is statements and assumptions from analytical reasoning. So this is very important chapter for bank POs, SI, and certain exams conducted by UPSC and groups conducted by APPSC. So before entering into the subject, let us discuss what is analytical reasoning. So analytical reasoning is the subject which doesn't require any workout with pen or pencil. So that means you have to straight away give an answer the moment you read the question on the screen. So for doing so, what you have to learn is you have to develop the art of understanding the statement given in the question. So for that, you need to understand what is the statement and what can be done from the statement. So let us not waste time and see what is the statement and what is its importance in the examination. See, in this analytical reasoning, we have got nearly 7 to 8 chapters that those are being regularly asked in the examinations. So in all these chapters, a statement is common. Statement has got an important role to play in these analytical reasoning topics. So let us understand what is a statement. So every one of us know a statement is a collection of words having a subject and predicate. Subject means the thing which is being explained in the statement, and predicate is the which is compared with the subject. And what is the main purpose of a statement is to convey a message. If a message is conveyed, then the work of the statement is completed. So as far as this chapter is concerned, a statement is nothing but a presentation which is being presented or already been presented. That means statement will have several shapes. Say for example, certain statements are there which were already presented. Certain statements will be there which are to be presented. So this presentation may be completed or may be anticipated. See, let us have an example for a complete statement. So if you go to a cinema theater for getting a ticket, you have to go in a line. At the ticket counters, you will be seeing come in a queue. And if you are traveling by a bus on the footpath, it will be written traveling on footpath is not allowed. If you see in educational institutions and temples and religious places when you visit, so there you may be notice a writing that don't shoot any photos and no electronic devices are allowed in the temple, or sometimes in the schools or colleges it will be written that mobile are not allowed. So these are the common things which were already completed, and what we have to do after seeing those statements is we need to follow the instructions given in the form of a statement. That's all. Then what about this anticipated statement? Anticipation means waiting for. See, for example, you ask your father, Father, my college is very far from our house. It is being very difficult for me to travel daily by bus or train. So please get me a bike so that it will be very helpful and it will save a lot of time so that I can invest my time on the studies. You may ask your father to purchase a vehicle for you or a two-wheeler for you. Then immediately will your father agrees and buy a two-wheeler to you? No. Generally he will say, no, let Diwali comes or Dasara comes or January 1st comes, then the showrooms will provide some offers so that the amount we have to pay will get reduced and I will get you a bike. So what you will be doing? You will be waiting for Dashera or Diwali, anticipating that an offer will be given by the showrooms and your father will be purchasing a two-wheeler for you. Is it right or not? So that Dashara will definitely come or Diwali will definitely come, and it has been a regular practice in our country. For every Dashara and Diwali, every showroom will provide certain offers. So this is called anticipated presentation. So that means anticipation means waiting for. So we will be waiting for summer holidays. You will ask your mother, Mom, I want to go to Kashmir and have a trip for 3 days. What your mother say? Wait, now there is no leave for your father, and at the same time you two have college. So not now. Let summer vacation comes. We will have a trip. So that answer your mother give. Then what you will be waiting for? So you will be waiting for summer vacations, and at the same time even your father and mother also will be waiting for advertisements from tour planners. So tour planners will be there, so they will be planning the tour, making us convenient to enjoy our tour. So your father and mother will be waiting for tour planners advertisement so that they can easily go for a tour. So like this, these will be called as anticipated statements. So these two types of statements will be given in the examination. You need to understand which one is a completed one and which one is an anticipated one. So after reading a statement, say for example, you went to a coaching center. In that particular coaching center, before entering the classroom, there has been written mobiles are not allowed, or switch off your mobile phones before entering into the room. After seeing this, what will happen in your mind? Your mind starts analyzing the issue. That means issue in the sense the statement you have read on the door or wall of the classroom. You will be start analyzing, no? So what questions will be there in your mind? There will be two types of questions in your mind. One question is, why this fellow has written this statement on the wall? The second question is, now what I have to do? So for every statement, whenever you read or listen or go through any statement, you will have two thinkings in your mind. One is the question what, and the other question is why. So why this fellow has written the statement? What then I have to do now? So these two arguments will be there in your mind. That place is called analysis. Right there. So when you think about what, so yes, it has been written to switch off the mobile phone. Then what I have to do? So what you have to do? You have to switch off the mobile phones. So many people may switch off the mobile phones giving respect to the statement written on the wall. Certain people, they may not switch off the phone provided they will keep in silent. Some people will be there, they don't mind the statement on the wall and they never switch off the phone or keep in silent. They will enter into the classroom as it is. So that means the action after analyzing depends upon our mindset. Is it right? So because some people have switched off, some people have kept in silent mode, some people have not given any importance to the statement. So it depends upon the mindset. Right? So now we have seen a statement we have read and we had a question what I have to do. Then we have got three answers: to switch off or to put in silent mode or not care about the statement on the wall. So that means you have got different answers: to switch off or not to switch off. So that means switch off means in favor of the statement, not switching off is against the statement. That means one answer to the positive side and the other answer to the negative side. So when you are talking about positive and negative, what does actually it means? It means arguments. So that means when the moment you read a statement and if you put a question what, the answers you will get will be in two directions. One is towards the positive side and the other one will be the negative side. So when the positive and negative combinations come into your mind, then those to be called as arguments. So now it is easily understood, no? So after reading a statement, if your question is what, the answer you get will be argument. Okay, so after analyzing the statement, that means after getting arguments, a positive argument and negative argument, so which argument is strong, then accordingly you will go for the action. If you feel that so mobile phone we need to switch off, otherwise the class will get disturbed, then you will go and switch off the mobile phone. If you felt that no, I may get several calls from my friends and family members which are very important to me than the class, then I will not switch off the phone. So depends upon the strength of the argument. If your positive argument is strong, then the conclusion will be according to the positive option. If your negative argument is strong, then your conclusion also go according to the negative argument. So conclusion means the final action what you will do. What? The question is what? After reading the statement, when you put what as the question, you will get a positive and negative arguments. So in out of these positive and negative argument, whichever is strong, accordingly you will go to perform the action. That action is nothing but conclusion. So I think you have got a good idea. Statement. After reading the statement, your first question is what. When you put what, you will get two arguments, a positive argument and a negative argument. So then depends upon the strength of the argument, whether positive strength, a positive side argument has got good strength, then the action you will do will go according to the positive argument. If negative argument is very strong, then your action is also towards the negative side only. So that means a conclusion depends upon the strongest argument. Now you have got two chapters completed. The basic knowledge of two chapters you see statement and argument. Statement and argument. Argument when it comes, when you put a question, what? Okay. So depends upon argument, you can go for a conclusion. The statement and conclusion is a different chapter. Now what we have discussed is only basic. This is not a final thing. So when you go for a class on statement and arguments, you will get clear picture about it. And even statements and conclusions also will make a class later. So now our current topic is assumption. So already we have discussed after reading a statement, you will have two questions. One question is towards what and the other question is why. So now let us discuss about why. So you'll be thinking, no, why this fellow has written this nonsense over here? Why? Why should I switch off the phone? See, if you are going outside, you will be finding a transformer where danger will be written. You'll be thinking, no, why this fellow has written danger here? When you are going outside, you will come across an advertisement given by a ready-made showroom that buy two and get two. You will be thinking, no, why this fellow has given this advertisement? So now we have discussed three statements. One is about mobile and the other one is transformer, we got danger. See, after danger, we will have two questions, right? One is towards what and the other one is why. So if you have a question what I have to do now? What you have to do after seeing danger? You should not go near the transformer. You have to avoid going nearer to the transformer. If you go nearer and if you touch the transformer, there may be an adverse effect to your safety. If you are keeping out of reach, then you will be safe. So regarding buy two and get two offer, if you put what will you get, what answers you will get? So then the question is what I have to do. Then the answer is if you have sufficient money, you go and utilize the offer. If you do not have money with you, you better ask your father or you can leave from there. So what side there is no issue for us. Now put the question why. Now assume what is happening. If you put question why, now will you know the exact reason for writing that statement on the wall? No. You will not be knowing the exact reason for such statement. Then who will be knowing about it? Only the person who has written the statement on the wall. Do you know why the offer of buy two and get two has been given by the ready-made showroom? No. Who will be knowing? Only the ready-made showroom owner will be knowing why he has given such offer. But what we will do? We will imagine the reason behind the statement we are reading now. Right? We will imagine because we are not clearly aware why the statement has arisen there. So we are just assuming and imagining the reason behind the statement. What could be the possible reasons to switch off the phones? So it might have created lot of disturbances in the earlier classes. So that may be the reason the management have decided not to allow phones in the classroom. So many people might have died with unknowingly touching the transformer. So that may be a concern for the department not to repeat the same issues again and again. So they might have written danger. And the ready-made showroom may want to promote themselves. Sometimes the shop, they might be shifting from here to somewhere else, or they may be closing the shop also. There may be several reasons. So exactly we don't know, but we will imagine. So we will imagine and answer. So those imaginations are to be called as assumptions. So assumption is very simple to define. An assumption is something which is assumed, imagined, or supposed and taken for granted. So why this word granted has been used? Because generally the people without, whatever they imagine, they themselves feel that is the right reason behind the statement. So they will forget that they are imagining. So they may think that what they imagine is true and correct, and they start communicating the same thing to each and every person, because of which wrong communications are happening, and because of which many people are facing many troubles in the real life. That is why these analytical reasoning chapters have been introduced into the examinations, and they are being given a great importance in the exam. So these chapters are not only useful for you to attempt questions in the examination, and also they will be helpful to you to grow up individually. Okay, so these chapters help you to understand the situation correctly and to respond to the situation in a right manner. Right? So this is about statement. If after reading a statement, if you put what, you will go to arguments. If you put why, you will get the imaginative reasons for the statement, and that is called assumption. Present topic is statement and assumption. Assumption is something which is imagined, supposed, and taken for granted. So let us see what is an assumption. An assumption is something which is assumed, imagined, or taken for granted. You have to believe that your assumption is strong and right. For example, say in our real life, see, if now I am taking this class, I'm making a video on statement and assumptions. Before making the video, I will be having many things in my mind. I want to express each and everything that is there in my mind before you. But when the moment I start taking the video, I will not present everything which I plan to present before you, because I expect that certain things need not to be presented because they are already understood by you. So those things which I left out are to be called as assumptions. So for example, when somebody says something, he will not put every word, every aspect of their idea in the statement. because he himself believed that whatever he has skipped, those things have already been understood by the listeners. The thing which was left out, he takes it for granted, which may be defined as an assumption. So that is the beauty of assumption. And let us have a small example to understand it very clearly. So example is like this. So statement 1 is Virat Kohli is the best batsman in the world. So this is about cricket, and Virat Kohli is the best batsman in the world. It is well known to everyone. And the second statement is India shall win the match. So India will win the match. That is the expectation the author is having. Now let us understand. Yes, it is known that Virat Kohli is a best batsman. That is right, 100% right. And the second thing, India shall win the match. See, now is there any link between these two? Since Virat Kohli is a best batsman, that India will win? No. When India will win? The best batsman like Virat Kohli perform well in that particular match, then only India can win the match. So whether the author has mentioned that Virat Kohli will perform well, is that has been mentioned in the statement? No. Why that particular thing has not been mentioned in the statement? Because the author felt that it was already understood by the people who are reading the statements. Have you understood or not? Yes, Virat Kohli is the best batsman. India shall win the match. So it is understood that the best batsman Virat Kohli will perform well in that particular match. So since it has been understood to everyone, so it has got no importance to express it again. So that thing has to be treated as assumption. Now you see the explanation. Here the author says that Virat Kohli is the best batsman in the world at present and also confident that India will win the match. So why he has got that confidence? He believes that Virat Kohli will perform well. Now think whether India will win just because of Virat Kohli's presence in the team? No, definitely not. So only India can win only if Virat Kohli perform well. But India can only win when the best batsman like Virat Kohli perform well. In this context, the author assumes that Virat Kohli being a best batsman will perform well and India shall win the match. So that is the assumption the author has made. But from the statement, it is not clear that Virat Kohli will play well. This is to be assumed and to be treated as assumption since the author felt that it is understandable to everyone. So this is how you need to understand the statements and you need to understand the assumption. Now you see one more example to understand it further. An advice to the student by the master. So the master is giving an advice. Practice daily to ensure success in the examination. So he is advising the student to practice daily so that he will get success in the examination. Now, you see what can be the assumptions made by the statement. So assumption 1, while giving the advice, the master assumed that the student will listen to him and start practicing daily. So the person who is advising will definitely hope that the student will listen to him and student will practice daily so that he will get the success. If the master do not have a hope that student will listen to his words, then there is no meaning in giving the advice. The second assumption will be from the advice of the master, the student assumes that daily practice is essential for success. It is understood by the student, no? So why master is advising me to do practice daily? Because daily practice is essential for getting success in the examination. So likewise, we need to understand a statement and assumption. So now these assumptions are of two types. One is existing assumption, other one is hidden assumption. What is an existing assumption? Which is understandable to everyone. And the second one is hidden assumption. Hidden assumption most of the times you may not assume from the statement, but you can understand it from the options given in the question. So both are to be considered correct in the examinations. So hidden assumptions, be careful while reading the options for the statement. Now see, example statement is there. So let us understand what is the statement say. So love marriages mostly end in divorce. So what does the statement says? Love marriages mostly end in divorce. So in the statement, what is the subject and what is the predicate? So for subject, there will be certain assumptions, and even predicate also will have certain assumptions. Now understand what is the subject, what the statement is talking about. It is talking about love marriages. And what is the predicate here? It is the end of the marriage. So how the end of the marriage is? In divorce. It is talking about most of the love marriages, not about all the love marriages. So that is to be very importantly taken care. So love marriages mostly end in divorce. So now see the assumptions. Love marriages do takes place. Yes, of course, love marriages are taking place in the society. That is why the author is talking about love marriages. So this is clearly understandable and derivable by everyone. And number two, there are cases of divorce, of course. Since there are cases of divorce, the author has stated that some of the love marriages are also ending in divorce. So that is also existed. So love marriage is one among the several types of marriages in the society. So that means love marriages is also a type of available types of marriages in the society. That means there may be several types of marriages like arranged marriages, several types of marriages in the society, and one of such marriages is love marriages. So all the three everyone knows, everyone can assume. These assumptions are to be called as hidden assumptions. Now see another example so that we can understand the hidden assumption. So statement is the company will not go into profit unless a foreign trained personnel is recruited. So that means the company will not go into profit. That means what is the inner meaning of that sentence? So meaning is the company will not go into profit means now the company is running in loss. So though it is not specific, but still we can understand from the statement. So since it is in losses, so one of the members of the board is saying that so to get into profit unless a foreign trained personnel is recruited. So that means they want to recruit a foreign trained personnel who can take the company into profits. That was the statement given. Now it is understood no the company is running in loss. So that is a statement which is existed. So it is clearly understandable to everyone. So the second thing is the company does not have a foreign trained personnel at present. Of course, since they are planning for foreign trained personnel, it indirectly means that there is no foreign trained personnel right now in the company. So this is a hidden assumptions. Now, for doing it very easily, very accurately in the examinations, so we will have a filter. So we will prepare a tabular column and we will discuss in what cases we may say the assumption is invalid and what cases we can say the assumption is valid. So before going to discuss about valid and invalid assumptions, please make note that this chapter completely depends on advertisements. So everyone has to concentrate on advertisements and you have to understand what does the advertisement conveys you. So that is what is required in this chapter. Now you see in what cases we can say the assumption is invalid. See the first case is definite words. See when the given assumption is invalid when it is linked with definite words. What does a definite word means? Definite means it has got a boundary. Right? It has got a boundary. See, all boys are good. What does the statement speaks? So all boys in this universe are good. That means over. It has been counted, no? It has been counted. So total boys in the universe. That's all. It has been counted. So that means it has got some limitation. So the range is very limited. It has got some boundary. So you think whether your imagination will have any boundary? Imagination means like a dream. Does our dream has any boundary? No. So if you use definite word, it will have certain boundary, thereby reduce the range of the assumption. So never try to assume definitely. So definite words wherever you see, so that assumption you have to say it is invalid. So the example definite words regularly being used in the questions is see, all, only, but, no, strongest, best, obviously, certainly, prefer, etc. There may be many words. So regularly these words are visible in the examinations. So these words means definite words can impart exclusiveness to the sentence, thereby reducing the range of the statement. That's what we have discussed. For imagination, there will not be any range, but for definite word, there will be a range. So range, if there is a range, then it cannot be termed as an imagination. So definite words should not be there in the assumption. So these words will certainly so these words will have certainty and limitation. So that is the reason why. So definite words are there means you have to say the given assumption is invalid. So for this there is a small example. So that we can understand the invalid assumption. You see the statement says, so the price of food grains have become unreachable to common man means the prices of food grains have been rapidly increased. So for that, the assumption given, you see whether the given assumption is valid or not. Only by curtailing exports, the prices of food grains will be controlled. So it is a assumption, it is an imagination. So assumption says only by curtailing exports, the prices of food grains will be controlled. Of course, curtailing exports may be a factor for reduction of prices of food grains, but it cannot be the only factor available to reduce the prices of the food grains, since only is a definite word and it is used with the assumption. So option 1 is the wrong answer. Now number 2, curtailing exports is the best way for reduction of hike in prices of food grains. Even this is also wrong because the best has been used there. So what can be a right assumption here? Curtailing export may be one of the reasons for reduction of prices of food grains, or curtailing exports is one of the factors responsible for reduction of hike in the prices of the food grains. So the sense should be not 100%. That means no definite word should be used in the assumption. So if at all it is used, then you have to say it is the wrong answer. And next example, when we can say the given assumption is invalid. The second case is irrelevant. When the given assumption has got no relevance with the statement, then you have to say that it is invalid. So the assumption is invalid when it is outrightly incorrect, have no relevance with the statement. When there is no relevance, then you have to say that the given assumption is invalid. Now the next invalid case is restatement or comparison. The next case of invalid assumption is irrelevant. The assumption is invalid when it is outrightly incorrect or have no relevance with the statement. So that means when the given assumption is nowhere related to the statement, then you have to say it has got no relevance, thereby it is outrightly incorrect. Say for example, a statement is like this: aluminium is a versatile material for packaging. That is the statement. Statement is aluminium is a versatile material for packaging. If your assumption is like this, a thick paper can also used for packaging. Now you see whether this has got any relevance with the statement. The statement is talking about aluminium and the assumption is talking about thick paper, which has got no relevance with the statement. Then you have to say that it is invalid. And the next case, that means case 3, restatement or comparison. So this is very important. So one has to remember this, make a note of it. Restatement or comparison. An assumption is invalid if it is a mere restatement of the statement by putting it in different words of a given statement. So that means when the given statement is a mere restatement, that means if you restate it, if the assumption is just like a restatement of the statement by putting different words, then it is to be called as a restatement. An assumption is invalid if the statement is compared. So one company is compared with the other company, then you have to say, so that is the wrong statement. If you observe in advertisement, have you ever seen any product is compared with this similar product in the advertisement? So example, statement. Bank X is offering 10% interest on fixed deposit. That is a statement. So Bank X is offering 10% interest on the fixed deposits. So assumption is like this: no other bank is offering interest as high as Bank X. So what it is saying? No other bank, that means it is comparing the other banks with the Bank X. So no comparison is entertained in the assumptions. So that is the reason why you have to say the given assumption is invalid. The next case of invalid assumption is conversion. So what do you mean by conversion? Conversion is the interchange of subject and predicate. So if you are interchanging the subject and predicate in the statement, then that is to be called as a conversion. If you are doing conversion, indirectly you are using the subject and predicate of the statement. That means without subject and predicate, you cannot do conversion. So we have already discussed, assumption is the reason for the statement which is being imagined by us. So that means assumption is not dependent on the statement. However, statement is based on the assumption. Is it right or not? So statement is based on the reasons which are being imagined now, those to be called as assumption. Whereas conversion means after the statement, because conversion we are doing by using the subject and predicate available in the statement. So that means we are taking the subject and predicate of the statement, means we are going after the statement. So assumption is before the statement. That is the reason why conversion is wrong answer. Example, one should have basic knowledge in computers to work in company X. So company X, if you want to work in company X, you need to have a basic knowledge. That is a statement. And the assumption is to work in company X. You see, in the statement, company X is in the place of predicate and the basic knowledge of computers is in the subject. So now to work in the company X, one should have basic computer knowledge. So now the basic computer knowledge has gone back of the statement. So that means subject and predicate have been converted. So this conversion cannot be treated as a valid assumption because conversion is after the statement, whereas assumption is before the statement. That is reason behind the statement. And the next case is obversion. Obversion is slightly different way of restating the statement, changing the meaning of the statement into negative sense. So obversion and conversion both are one and the same. The only difference between these two is in conversion, a positive statement will be converted into positive statement only, and whereas in upversion a positive statement will be converted into negative sense. Whatever the sense may be, conversion can be done only after the statement which is to be treated as invalid. So statement smoking is injurious to health is clear, and the assumption is non-smoking promotes health. So it has been converted clearly, and at the same time positive statement has been converted into negative statement. So this cannot be entertained in assumptions. So we have to say that obversion is also invalid. Next, inference. Inference means an assumption is invalid if it is an inference and it is derivable from the statement. What is inference? Inference is the inner meaning of the statement which is derived. So that means derived means for deriving you need a statement. That means without statement you cannot derive any inference. If you are deriving something from the statement, it is to be called as conclusion. It cannot be called as assumption. So that is why inference is also invalid. So statement example is here. Religion is based primarily and mainly on fear. It is partly the fear of the unknown and partly the wish to feel that one has a savior who will stand by in times of despair and defeat. So assumption is like this: man's fear of the unknown and defeat makes him religious. So the statement is talking about religion, and the assumption is derived from the statement why the man has become religious. So this is derived from the statement clearly. So such derivations are not treated as assumption, and we have to say inference as invalid assumption. And the next case is extreme view or long run. An assumption is invalid if it makes too far-fetched reasoning or long-drawn conclusions, though it appears probably correct. So that means imagination to certain extent it is okay. So if you are going beyond the limitations, then we need to call them as extreme views and long drawn conclusions which are not to be treated as valid assumptions. So the statement religious instructions lead to curiosity for knowledge. So all the teachings should be done in religious spirit. So this is also talking about the spirit of religion and also the curiosity over religious instructions. So the assumption is curious persons are good persons is invalid because it is an extreme view from the statement. So this is about the introduction of statement and assumptions, and in which case we will call the given assumptions are invalid. So in the next video we will meet along with the cases where we will treat the assumptions are valid. So please like my video, and if you feel that it is worth enough to share, please share it to your family and friends who are preparing for competitive examinations. I request you to subscribe my channel. Thank you. We'll meet again.